Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Naval Dreadnoughts and to a brand new campaign. Very exciting stuff. But before we do that, it is worth mentioning that this campaign is very slightly different from the others that I have done. Because yes, the French campaign and the Japanese campaign used the Dreadnought Improvement Project, which I myself wrote, and this campaign will be using the Dreadnought Improvement Project mod as well, but not the one that you are maybe thinking. This is me going to be trying out an actual proper campaign, and the best way to try out a campaign is to record myself doing it on version 2. Of the Dreadnought Improvement Project. Now, you can see this A20. This is the 20th version of this. I've been working on this for a while. If you're a member of my Discord, you can actually download the version 2 experimental testing branch of the mod. I'm not keeping it secret, but it makes some changes. It makes some pretty serious changes, mainly around guns. Guns and the way armor works, and you'll see those changes as we get into it, but because it changes weights and because it changes the way you build ships that you've designed for the regular Dreadnought Improvement Project, which is currently version 1.12.7 or something, they don't work, nor do vanilla ships. So I'm going to wait until 1.6 comes out. I'm pretty sure there will be a 1.6 for regular vanilla dreadnoughts, and that is when I release version 2 to everybody. But if you want to try it out in advance, you can. Okay, we're going to be playing Spain. That's right, we're putting the pain in Spain, because, yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult. Spain is a very hard country to play. I am going to play on normal difficulty, not legendary, like some people do, simply because it's going to be hard enough, especially with the changes in version 2 of the mod. And also, I think most people play on normal difficulty, and that's kind of useful for me balancing-wise. We're not going to have an auto-generated fleet either. That's going to be also horrible. And shared designs are going to be off, because I currently don't have any for DIP version 2, and I don't want it trying to load them. So, this is going to be our setup. Now, Spain is very, very tricky. Very tricky, but I'm going to generate the campaign, and I'm going to explain the trickiness once I'm on the map. Okay, that was quite quick. So, Spain. In 1890, it's a tricky start, because you have mainland Spain, which is fine, but it's not exactly an economic powerhouse. And you have colonies, which normally would be great, but you have a global empire. You've got stuff in the Caribbean, you've got stuff in Africa, and you have stuff over here in the Pacific that basically everybody wants. So China, Japan, the USA, Britain, France, all of them are very interested in this. Britain and France are very interested in this, so is Germany. France is usually quite interested in this stuff. Britain and America are interested in this. So none of that is good. Absolutely none of it. You also start with 25 unrest, which is just lovely. So we are a constitutional monarchy. Now these modifiers might look a bit different. That is one of the things that I have changed in the mod. Mainly the unrest has been tweaked to compensate for the fact that if you conquer territories, your unrest just gets really, really high really, really quickly, and just to make the nations a bit more stable in general. We have the centre party in charge at the moment, but they're not exactly the most popular. -1 GDP growth is bad, but all the others are okay. And the USA starts off hating us. So one of the first things I'm going to do is Project Friends, because we are in no fit state to challenge anyone, although our economy is not actually the worst. It might be the worst, actually. Yep, it is actually the worst. No, Japan is worse. But it's nearly the worst economy in the game, which is just great. You have a very limited shipyard capacity as well, and it's all just very, very difficult. So, right, let's jump in to some fleet design. And you'll notice I can't build reasonable pre-dreadnoughts at all. Or can I? Sometimes you can trick it. No. So I don't even start... I mean, I could build this, but... I mean, let's be honest, this thing is out of date already. So I think what I'm going to go for... yeah, the AC-1 is just flat better, isn't it? Yeah, so we're going to build the Armoured Cruiser 1. I'll probably look to build maybe 3 of these to act as flagships, essentially. Now, we are Spain, so smallness and cheapness have a quality all of their own. They can be reasonably quick, though, these things. Let's try 18 knots. That does have double the base accuracy, which is probably worth it. But these are the same, so let's choose the cheap one. And probably... What does fit a funnel? Wow, such great engine efficiency. Okay, main guns. Now, this is one of the things that version 2 is going to change significantly. The reason I changed it, how guns work, is because I found playing vanilla or playing Dreadnought Improvement Project, I'd get to a point where I was stuck on 13-inch Mark IIIs, and then I would just be waiting ages for it, and I wouldn't use anything below a Mark III. So one of the things I wanted to make sure that was that you were using Mark 1s and 2s. So the way the guns unlock and the years that they unlock are a bit different. We could use 8s or we could use 9s. For an early heavy cruiser, I think 9s might be a better bet, because they're the first big gun that I'll get as a Mark II. But I immediately go massively overweight. Yeah, this is only 3,000 tons. Well, we'll see if we can get it to work. Casements, 4-inch. And torpedo launchers. Might have to downgrade the main guns. Nothing to click on here. Compound. We have no real options. Enhanced loading. The other thing you may notice is rates of fire are generally a bit better. Settings. Yeah, I don't think we can fit those guns. I'm assuming that's what's so bloody heavy. No, it's the fuel. Really? But yeah, the turrets are very heavy. Wow, it's at 100%, even with no guns on it. We could go 9-inch single. Again, we're really trying to cheap out here. Not even that much actually heavy on it. Right, if I wanted to be armoured against the... Well, there's another thing I could do. No, they're already pretty short guns. Yeah, so we want 2 inches there. Decks are probably going to be almost irrelevant. I think something like 9-inch is going to be fine. Casement armor. Not very much. And main belt, I would probably want 8. I can only go max 7. Okay, I think we just need to put in smaller guns then. And I need to lose something else. Okay, we're going to have to make it just bigger in that case. That will also help with the engine efficiency a little bit. Although nowhere near enough. Are you kidding me? What's the biggest funnel with boats? Huge. I get an extra torpedo launcher? Yeah. Give it one of those. Wow, 28.8%. Fucking hell. Right, could I fit the 9-inch guns now? No, still significantly over. Singles? Singles gets me close. And then if I knock off a bit of coal, we are there. Although, I mean, this is an absolute garbage ship. It'll do for its intended purpose, I think, which is basically to sit there and provide a little bit of power projection so I don't immediately die. Okay, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to head back to the build screen. So these cost 18 million. All right, we start off with 85. Fucking hell, I thought I'd made that pretty cheap. 3 of them is going to be a stretch. That's going to be a real stretch. Yeah, it's going to leave me with not very much, but I think I need something relatively solid. So I'm going to build 3. We're going to have 1 in... probably Cadiz. One in Cadiz. Cool. What's my biggest port in the Caribbean? Okay, let's say it's Santiago de Cuba. And 1, presumably in the Philippines. Manila. Okay. So they're going to act as our flagships, I guess. Then... We're going to need some form of light cruiser, but I don't know if I have anything that's even close. I mean, I could have gone cheaper if I'd gone for like one of these, the hybrid light cruiser or something. But it's just not very good. I mean, we do have the light cruiser 1. Which would be relatively modern. Let's see if we can build this out. So, where do they go? 18. So we don't need to go much faster than that. Let's make them smaller. I mean, I do want them to be able to hit something sometimes, so some decent towers. Couple of funnels. Wow, actually gets loads of efficiency, just one funnel then. Main guns, 4-inch gun, 1 fore, 1 aft. Pair there. Is there a way to fit? Pair at the front? No, not with that tower. What about that one? No, same problem. Okay. Some couple of 2-inch guns and some torpedo launchers. I don't know if I'm ever going to see battle with these ships, but it's worth building them out. Right. So we want about 2 inches of armor just all along it. I'll keep out like 4-inch guns if someone brings them along. I can't armor the turrets. That's annoying. Cool, let's make them long-ranged, at least for the time. Can we push their speed a bit? Yeah, but we lose a lot of efficiency. Probably best to keep them at 18 then, and just keep them cheap and cheerful. Spacious. There you go. The Leon class, they're just gonna float about and yeah, gives a little bit of convoy protection and raiding power, but I'm not expecting much from these things. Right, I'm gonna head back to the fleet screen and figure out how many of these I can buy. Okay, I could build as many as 9 of these ships. I do want to make sure I have one in Barcelona for sure, and probably another one. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, yeah, basically put them round Spain itself for this, and then I just built 7. I think that's probably my best bet. So we're going to build 7. We're going to put 1 in Malaga, 1 in Valencia, 1 in Barcelona, 1 in Corona, 1 in Bilbao, 1 in Huelva, and 1 in Mallorca. Okay. That leaves me with 8 million for some torpedo boats, which I never normally build, but I think I'm going to have to. Some very small, very cheap ships. We don't need a lot of range on them. These things are purely going to be for, well, torpedoing. I'm going to assume 2 standard funnels is shorter than that, yeah. And 2 torpedoes on the back. I mean, it's a torpedo boat. Hardly ever use the things. But we might as well. Give me going 25 knots. 26. Ooh. Let's go 25. And that's literally it. Hey, at least they're easy to design. Maybe I could get them a little bit of coal. Nope. Well, I might as well go for an extra knot of speed then. No, I can't do it anymore. Okay, fine. 25 knots. Good luck. You're going to be very sick on this thing. But it's cheap at less than $1 million. So we can build a bunch of these and generally just spam them so that we have something, some form of ship. So I'm going to go figure out how many of these I can build. The answer to that question should be 10. Yeah, there we go. Right. Okay, and I will let these be distributed, the Tetuans. Okay. I'm not going to adjust the budget slider at all first turn. That's quite typical. Just so that I can figure out what's going on. There we go. Now then. Oh my god. Right, we're going to need this at full. Regardless of anything else we do. We need to get our transport capacity up. Hopefully if I put everything on limited, that will... yeah, okay. Cool. Okay, we're making money. That's good. Crew training 25, tech budget at 50 is actually fine for now. How much is this going to be for, like... Oh, let's say I wanted 1,500-ish tons. 50 million, fucking hell, over 12 months. 4 million a month. Can't afford it. Cannot afford it. Okay. Great. Let's have a look at what everyone else has. So we have a teeny tiny fleet of 3 heavy cruisers, 7 light cruisers, and 10 torpedo boats. Somehow Japan managed to add 2 battleships on top of that, which is insane. I don't know how they managed that. And still with 24 million in the bank. Fuck off. Oh my goodness. The US has a nasty fleet. That's going to be a real problem for us. Improve relations. Oh shit! I don't have the naval prestige. I need to though. I really hope they don't turn around and say no. Italy is a potential rival for us, who we can take on with relatively little consequence. We must keep France on side at all costs. And yeah, this lot up here are just going to eat us. Anyway, I'm going to now embark on a frenzied campaign of trying to butter favour with France and the United States, trying to get my unrest down and my naval prestige up so I can spend it improving relations, and you'll probably not see me again until I'm ready to do some more designing, which, to be honest, might be quite a ways off, actually. Because, yeah, this is going to be a very quiet start, I reckon. We're just going to have to keep it quiet. Tell you what, I'm going to play a year, and I'll either come back with some news, or I'll come back at the end of a year and give you a little bit of an update. Okay, it's a year later, which actually doesn't take that long. Turns go very fast this early on. Our relations are a little bit better. I'm just trying to keep them slightly positive. So I've been mainly working on getting the United States to not hate us. I will keep the Russians away from us because, as far as we're concerned, fighting Russia is a bit annoying. I'm not going to worry about the Italians, though. If the Italians want to have a little war, I will gladly do that. Again, we have such a tiny, tiny fleet that I think we're basically being ignored by the major powers. Finances-wise, we've got a nice little bank of naval funds. Transport capacity is increasing nicely. I think it is time to increase these. I was able to get crew training up to 50. What is our crew training actually up to? It'll still be limited by technology anyway. Yeah, they're still cadets. So I think I'll go tech funding first. Let's put it to 85%. Because I do want to continue to build up a little bit of a war chest, ideally. Other than that, nothing has happened. Absolutely nothing. A few events and things, but I think my best bet is to... I think I am going to have to jump in and build a pre-Dreadnought at some point, and a Generation 1 Dreadnought. There is a strategy where I just don't build anything until I get to a Super Dreadnought. Which is very, very bold, but I think would be a mistake, because if we get into a war and we don't have any ships at all, we're screwed. And at the moment, if we are fighting Italy, we are seriously outnumbered. They have 100,000 tons in ships. We don't even have 33. So we have a very small fleet. Yes. I think research, we get a decent pre-Dreadnought hull, and then we actually lay down a couple of pre-Dreadnoughts, maybe only one, to fight in the Med. Because I think most of my focus is going to be on the Mediterranean to start with, and a potential war with Italy, and just trying to avoid wars with everyone else. If I get into a war with Italy and we're able to win, let's say we take Sardinia, maybe even Sicily, we are going to need battleships for the invasion, basically. Is how I'm seeing it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to wait. We're going to get some decent pre-Dreadnought era technology, and I'm actually going to put a priority down, and this might confuse people, in engines, because better engines makes a big difference, and the engine techs are very, very slow. So I'm going to pop a priority into engines, and yeah, I guess I'll tell you what, I'm going to wait another year, and then I'll be back, unless something happens. Welcome back. Another year. Another very quiet year for the Spanish Navy. We now have triple expansion engines. I've taken the research priority off by the way. Armour quality, nickel steel is a long way off. But we're about to get new structural steel, which is quite a nice little improvement. And I think, well, we could maybe do a little bit of a midlife refit, early life refit. Politics wise, we seem to be okay. We have picked up an ally, which is interesting, Venezuela. There looks like there might be a war between Japan and China. That seems like the most likely war at the moment. Finances wise, I've finished the first lot of expansion. I've started a second lot. Let's get up to 15,000 tons, which is pretty good. I'm going to up crew training as well, and just try and get everything going. Actually, our transport cap is now at 200%. It means I can bring this down. It always tells me to do. We can put it back up in wartime. I'm going to keep it very slightly positive. And that gives us a lot more money to play with. Excellent. Right. Well, with our economy not great, but somewhat fixed, helped, by the way, by having a small fleet. If you want to get rid of your money problems, have a tiny fleet. It really, really helps. We're getting semi-armoured cruiser 1, could potentially be useful. Yeah, I think it's going to be another quiet year, he says, hopefully. Okay, it's now July, and the Venezuelans want to buy 3 of those heavy cruisers. Now, that is cool, but, well, I mean, the shipyards aren't doing anything, are they? Might as well. Sure, whatever. I don't mind taking the money. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, getting anything... Yeah, just the new riveting techniques on the way. We do have that semi-armored cruiser 1. And we are about to get range finders. So we are getting to the point where we can do a little refit. But I'll see you at the end of the year. Okay, 1893, we have a bunch of ships under construction for our allies, which now includes Korea, which is nice. I don't mind doing this at all, because I really don't have any particular plans, although you can see how tied up our shipyards get very, very quickly. We are getting, like, Cruiser 2... in 6 months. It's not particularly interesting. Improved structural steel is on the way. Okay, I think after this we get access to some more of some actual proper pre-Dreadnoughts. Working on, we got Mark II 2-inch. Working on the Mark II 3-inch. And we're about to get 16-inch torps, so I might actually refit the torpedo boats. Because that should happen next turn. 16-inch torps, yeah. You want Leon-class light cruisers? Sure. Particularly Venezuela. That is very helpful, because that is basically me sending reinforcements to the Caribbean. Although the Caribbean should be quiet. Everybody likes us, apart from the Italians. Right, let's have a look at the torpedo boat. Let's refit it to use the multiple expansion engine. We can give them gun cotton. That's a bit of an upgrade. And 16-inch torpedoes. Rangefinder. Screw it. Why not? And now they get Mark II 2-inch guns with a 20 rounds a minute rate of fire, which is just fabulous. They're still pretty small, these things, but that's fine. We'll just give them a cheeky little refit. Will only take a month and shouldn't overload the shipyards doing that. Yeah. I think in terms of refitting, given that Spain has a very this is a big limiter for us, which is why I'm very focused on growing our GDP. I think in terms of a refit system, if I try and only refit when we get a new mark of main gun for a ship, that should be roughly about right, I think, and that should let us refit things kind of as we go. That's my plan. Right, how are we looking fleet tonnage wise? Still the smallest in the world? Still the smallest. Oh god. Italy though, I thought they had torpedo boats. Oh, they're refitting them, I think. If I wait a turn, because they can't take that long to refit. Yes, we'll send an official protest. Yeah, they had them all in for refit. Our economy is not the smallest. We're 1 billion clear of Japan. Woo! I am somewhat concerned, though, that when the election happens, we're going to get the nationalists in charge. Because I'm pretty sure the game uses first past the post voting. The worst type of voting. And that is going to hamper our economic efforts. So I'm making hay while the sun shines. Right, I'll see you at the end of the year. Yeah, I was worried about that. Yeah, the nationalists have gotten into power. I really wish you could, I don't know, spend naval prestige or something to affect that. Because, yeah, there goes our GDP growth. But it is still positive. That's the main thing. We do get that little military power boost, which is a little bit helpful. And I get money, but I don't want naval budget. Naval budget is fine. Dearie me. It happens every single time you play Spain, which... I mean, the other parties do still have a little bit of support, but manipulating it is going to be virtually impossible, I think. Anyway, well, with a new party in charge, I think we're probably going to have a little bit of a change of attitude. I'm trying to stop the Germans from having increasingly negative relationships with me. Research-wise, we've nearly got improved structural steel. We don't have anything else significant coming up. We do have the Mark II 4-inch on the way, which is kind of nice. But I'm actually thinking now we can go in for some building. We can go in for a semi-armoured cruiser. Minimum beam and draft. I think 18 knots is fine to keep the cost down, but we are going to build it at 4,000. What? 3,999 tons. So the game doesn't complain at me. Garbage choices for towers. One. Yeah, probably this one. So go triple stack. That helps. Casements 3-inch. Mark IIs. Actually, probably going to do the majority of the gun damage, I'd imagine. Let's mount some torpedoes, and then for main guns, I'm thinking a 6-inch gun, fore and aft. It's almost a light cruiser. It's approaching the idea, the concept of a light cruiser, rather than a barge with a bunch of guns stuck on it. Base fused. Gun cotton. White powder. Woo! Lovely. 16-inch torps. Rangefinder. That's not too bad. That's a nice little ship. I haven't done the armour yet. So we're still at 28%. Yikes. Right, let's armour it against the 3-inch guns first of all. So yeah, 2-inch. Oops. 2-inch on all of those bits, which are also protected against the HE from the 6-inch gun. Protecting it from AP, I'm thinking, what, 4-inch? Yeah, phew, you wish. 0.5, 4, 2. Only 3% overweight if we drop. Oh, 2 tons. I also haven't put anything on the tower. 6 tons. It's that mid-built. I kind of want 4 inches though of armour. That's going to be helpful. Engine efficiency is right about there. Superstructure armour is quite heavy. So is the deck armour, to be honest. Let's just trim all the deck protection down a little bit. There we go. Lovely. 10 million. So they are a hell of a lot more than the Leons. But they are actually a proper semi-armoured protected cruiser. They should be very useful for dealing with enemy torpedo boats with all those 3-inch guns. And they've got a couple of 6 inches for, you know, they might hit. But more importantly, she has torpedoes. So, yeah. I like it. I like it. Right, let's see how many of these we could build. Okay, I could build as many as 15 of these if I wanted. I do think they're a decent ship. Let's have a little look at the Italians. Yeah, they've got 21. So I think we should build 10. 10 of these will allow them to... well, I'll let the AI spread them out. But this will give us a little bit more... I'll be a little bit happier that we have something. I'm going to be negative while I'm building these. That's fine. Question is, do I even bother keeping the Leons? And I think the answer to that is going to be no. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with them. I'm going to assign most of them to home ports. of the Canary Islands. And I'm going to leave 3 for the computer to assign where they go. And the Leons, I'm just going to mothball them and sell them off. Normally that happens pretty quickly. We've got 2 allies. They might be interested. Okay, good. Yep. Sell them off. Excellent. Right. Need to improve relations with the Russians. Cool. So I've got a few more Leons to sell. The Conde del Venaditos will be ready soonish, but I'm actually quite pleased with how this has gone. It's been a pretty steady start to the campaign. I'm going to end the episode here. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.